dedication to youth baseball. Come see the USA Prime Prodigy difference. For a full listing of tryouts and to learn more about USA Prime Prodigy, check them out on Facebook at Lincoln Prodigy Baseball or at LincolnProdigyBaseball.com. USA Prime Prodigy is excited to announce the tryouts for the upcoming season. Prodigy Baseball is where players in Lincoln go to receive player development, a competitive tournament schedule, and incredible family atmosphere. USA Prime Prodigy will be hosting tryouts July 14th through the 16th at 6 p.m. at Optimus Sports Complex for ages 7 to 14. Jalen Wordley, Caleb Clark, and Mason McConaughey from Husker Baseball will be there to sign autographs and talk to the youth. Tryouts start on July 14th at 6 p.m. Learn more at LincolnProductBaseball.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Health LNK is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. Health LNK provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacements, snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a Health LNK subscription. Find your missing link with Health LNK today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers. You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio in the heart of Lincoln, America. Youth Football 101. Get a peek into the world of youth football in the state of Nebraska with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves 7-on-7 Youth Football. This is Youth Football 101 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, we're coming back with Youth Football 101. We do this every Saturday. All things football for Lincoln, Nebraska, for youth. You can join the conversation by texting us at Sartor Heyman. I always get that wrong. Text line 402-464-5685.
Nailed it.
Did I nail it finally?
You nailed it.
In the Sartor Heyman live video stream, we're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Cable, Channel 961.
Yep.
So, Ben, we have a show here today.
Ooh.
We have some really awesome guys in here today. One of my favorite folks, a lot of people don't know that Justin was probably the first person that I met, my first coach when I joined LIF, right? Right.
Yep. And then you left me.
And then I left, right?
Left me.
They recruited me for Terry and then the board. So I want to introduce our guest today. I've got my good friend, president of LYF here, Jim Sandman that's here. We've got Justin White coaching the Elks. He's been there forever. We'll get into his history. And then his amazing, fun son, Gavin, right? The man.
He's looking at you with a disgust on his face.
That's Gavin. Gavin, he thinks in animation. So we're here today to talk about some things. Before we get going, Jim, we want to give a shout out to the Character Chronicles. and Edward Stone for supporting the show. We really appreciate that. Always want to give a shout out to Mike Salvage, our commissioner, and our board members. We appreciate that, and all ADs and programs that support LYF. It's a really big project. Justin, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I know you've been bugging me to get on for a while. We've been busy with baseball all year. This was we drive by every once in a while, and I kind of want to just jump out and run up and bang on the glass while you guys are doing it. But it's fun to be in here finally.
Yeah.
I love everything you've been doing for us, Tank. It's nice to have someone with your mind helping us out with football in this town. So,
well, as Jim says, I have a hard time right here. So yeah, and thank you, man. I mean, we're gonna break this thing down. Gavin, I've been watching you grow up in the last few years, and you're getting to be a giant. You're very talented athletically, so we're really happy that you're here at the show today, right? Okay. So I'm gonna pick on you first, Gavin. All right, are you ready for this? Okay. So how long have you been? Because people remember this show is about the connections, the history, LIF, and where we've been and where we're going. And so we often bring in young athletes that have come up in the program. So how long have you been in LIF?
For like 6 years.
6 years. So that would have put you at rookie 2 years, right? Yeah.
Well, you were too big your second year to play.
Too big?
So
you had to move up way too much.
Yeah, that was the first year I was supposed to be able to coach him, and he too heavy to stay on the team. So I had to wait another year to coach him again.
Okay. So what has LYF meant to you? I mean, what connections do you have to like the friends and people that you've met or looking forward to the season every year?
It's just been a good time every year.
Good. And now what position do you play?
Center and middle linebacker.
Good. And so you are very skilled at the position of center. How has that evolved over the years?
My snapping has been more straight and faster.
That's good. And you've enjoyed it. Go ahead, Justin. Jump in.
This year I usually teach my centers just dead ball snap because it's easier for the younger kids to learn. But he's getting older and he's going to be going into high school next year, so we started doing more of traditional shotgun snap with him. So he's picking that up, and he is throwing it a little straighter. It comes out of, he's a pitcher during baseball, so he tends to throw that ball back pretty hard. And I know me and the other coaches have a hard time just catching the snap. I'm grateful that he has talented quarterbacks behind him that can catch it and maintain what they've got to do during the play. So
how many summer camps did we have last year that we had to actually switch quarterbacks out because we were worried that Gavin was going to break fingers?
Yeah, it's fun. I talked to Mike Lamanu does a lot of training with him during the off season, and I said something about, do we maybe slow him down? And he said, nope. He said, just everyone else will catch up. Speed him up if you can.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, because the bottom line, when we're doing this, you have some youth that become elite in what they're doing. Some parents or coaches have a tendency to want to slow them down, but you have to remember, it's not really where you are right now, right? It's where you're going. Yeah. So when he moves on and he's in college, those things are going to benefit because he will have those coaches.
You got a lot of work to do.
Gavin got a little bit of fullback in last year too, didn't he?
Yeah, that I don't know. That was a little eye in the sky for me of like, well, it'd be nice to see him carry a ball or catch a ball, and it was nice, but his natural spot is center.
Okay.
The kid that played center for him is a great kid who I love to death, and he did a great job, but our offensive line goes with Gavin's fast snaps. The running backs hit the holes.
Because you can get off quicker.
They hit the holes faster, and he's got a little more attitude than I have when it comes to sports. I'm more of I'm sure most of the kids don't believe this, but I'm more of the calm, centered, leader type.
No,
and
you are.
Both my boys are more the
go get
they want to start some crap while they're on the field.
They're the alter ego.
Yeah, they're the heel. Is what you would call them.
That's Justin's good. The baby face and Gavin's the heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So let's talk about your history with LIF. When did this all start and why?
My stepson, actually, Dylan Gray, was the reason I got into LYF.
Okay.
I'd started coaching when I was 20.
Oh, wow.
Out in Malcolm.
Okay.
Just a bright-eyed young kid who thought he knew everything and learned really fast that I did not know anything. And I still did it for about 6 years out there. I had some pretty good guys that were coaching the high school there that everyone in town probably knows. Ryan Terwilliger,
Okay.
Matt Versall.
Yes.
They were both coaches out there at that high school, and I did everything I could to not make their jobs easier. I was not coaching those kids to be ready for high school at all, and eventually just kind of got out of the way and let some other guys take over, and then took 2 years off and met my wife and her son Dylan, and his uncle Justin Trainer, who's in the league forever,
Yes.
was part of the Elks, and decided to go over and help him for a couple years. And then when Dylan got to the age where he could play, the old athletic director was stepping down, and
There you were.
I said, well, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it right. So
Now that's been a number of
Jumped
years
in.
ago. How long has that been?
2014 is when I took over as AD.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's been a long
And the
journey.
program has been just come up
Yeah,
gangbusters.
I
It's a
have a
solid
lot
program.
of people in the northeast side of town that are very passionate and help me a ton.
That's good.
A lot
That's
of great
good.
coaches that have helped me over the years. A lot of great moms that have helped with running the organization behind the scenes,
Yep,
stuff like
Yep.
that.
You need that. You
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
need that. And so,
Definitely.
and shout out to all
I'd
the
be
moms,
doing
right?
even better if some of my great coaches would just stay instead of running off to start their own program. Just think
Well,
of the powerhouse we would
I
be
know,
if you
I
would have
know,
just
I know,
stuck
I know,
around.
right? No, the thing about that, which is really interesting, that neither you or I, because we were starting to talk about other things,
Yeah.
neither you or I saw that. And so God works in
Oh, yeah.
mysterious
Yeah.
ways,
It's for the
but
best.
we never saw it coming. I mean, I was like, okay,
What's the saying? Rising tide raises all
raises
ships.
all ships.
So, you know,
Absolutely.
we need everybody to be good. And
No, that is really something that happened. Is the way that happened is another story, but it's pretty cool that now I get to be mentored by you and Jim, right, and Mike and other Mike Lamano and other good coaches, because I came into this thing blind, right, and that's kind of where we are from there. Even working with Jim as VP for Lincoln, I don't know much, but I lean on him to be able to get it done, and then I try to add my personality with it.
I think we lean on each other a lot.
It works. It's working, and it's getting better. So tell me, what are the plans this year for Elks? What are you looking at doing?
I mean, we've kind of gotten everything rolling over the last few years. Our kind of system of play is in place, and we've got good coaches that go up with the kids every year. So
It's good practice.
last year, my A squad coach trainer, I knew it was their last year going through. He'd been coaching forever and needed a new scenery, and I definitely back him on that. I know it'll be good for him, but it's always tough when you have to try and replace a coaching staff that's there every year. Luckily, a teacher from Mickle is stepping in, and now he's going to take a group up for 5 years, and then this will obviously be my last season coaching a team. I'll still be the athletic director for, I'm sure my wife hates hearing it, a long time.
She's listening right now.
But it'll be my last year coaching an actual team. So I've got guys in place now to take over for me next year to go up for 5 years. So that's more the big thing that I have to worry about all the time, is the planning on who's going to be here.
Right.
Who can I, because it's a 5-year commitment. If
It's
you're
a program.
stepping, yeah,
It's a real deal.
if you're coming in to coach, it's a 5-year commitment, because I
mean,
want you with that group of
right.
kids for
All the
their
way
5
through.
years. Yep.
And it's insane, because a lot of people don't understand how complex we are. I mean, these are teams of 30 and 40 coaches, right? Working with kids all the way through, trying to stay the right program, and this is volunteer, but it's no different than a larger program, because there's so many moving parts.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
It's definitely been an experience. We've tried it a bunch of different ways over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
This has been working the best. We've been doing pretty good the last, I'd say, 5 years. We've been doing pretty good, but that took a lot of sacrifice on some teams' parts, where instead of when we were low on numbers, instead of forcing kids to play
Right.
up to fill out numbers, we just kind of sacrificed teams and said, well, you're going to roll out with 18, 19 kids for the year
Till we get there.
we can build the organization. And, you know, a lot of those kids are near and dear to my heart. You know, they probably didn't win a game for 5 years, but that sacrifice they had was part of the foundation that built all the younger groups behind them. And it's slowly starting to pay off.
It's a machine.
Javante Boyd's up at Northeast,
Yep.
and he really loves the area,
Yep.
and the kids are starting to stay and play for him. And
Which is important.
the last 3 groups of kids that have gone through Elks, most of them have stayed, and that makes
That's
for
strong.
big classes. And that's the biggest thing we need in town is just numbers. Without having an actual junior high football program.
Now,
in
did
school.
Levi Sherman come through your program?
No, he was actually Stonebrook / firefighter. I think he
Okay.
probably put most of his
Okay.
years as firefighter.
Because he's been really
He's an amazing
Right-
football player.
right
Yep,
at Northeast,
yep.
no matter-
I'm moving up to help coach a little bit
Okay.
of high school this year as well. I look
Good.
forward to being on the field to see him in person. I know he holds it against me still that I didn't pick him for the All-Star game when he was in 8th grade. So he came up and said something to me in our first coach player
beast.
meeting. Yeah. So
he's
he's a good
beast.
kid.
He
He's
is-
been
oh
a good
my
leader
gosh.
at that school. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see.
And that's good. Jim,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
you've always got tons to say. What am I missing here today?
Not missing anything, really.
Are we
Hey,
just rolling?
Look, this is the reason why we've wanted Justin here, right?
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
said Justin's been a target from one in the beginning because, you know, we've had the talk about how we've had the core group of ADs
Yes.
that have been bringing everybody in and making sure the rest of the board is helping out. And I think we've improved that a lot, because if we're being honest, when we started, there was only 3 or 4 of us that, I mean, we'd spend hours after every meeting just having essentially another meeting about what we're going to do just to make our personal clubs better. And, you know, I said it with Mike Lamanu when he was here for UBT, and I'll say it with Justin. Without Justin and Mike, there's no me in this league, because the guidance that these guys have given me, you know, when I'd say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, Justin multiple times could have probably slapped me in the back of the head, been like, nah, that's not going to work, you know. But what we're doing now is fun. I'm more interested, you know, this is the most quiet that I've ever seen,
I
Gavin.
know.
Gavin at
I
the
know.
Fields. Gavin at the Fields on Sunday, you know, we're talking about how he's the heel. Gavin at the Fields, you know, on certain days not to talk to Gavin,
Yeah.
especially if he's playing your club. And that's the good part, right? That's the competitive part. But he's still a respectful young man that no matter what will come up and shake your hand.
Yeah.
But you always wait. You don't want to turn your back on him because you think he might do something
He
behind
is
your
his
back.
dad's son, right? He is that alter ego.
So, Gavin, let's go into you for a little bit. I'm going to pick on you. So we've talked about, you know, what football has meant to you. What has been your favorite memory with LYF so far?
Probably making it to the championship, but losing.
That's a rough one.
That's
That's not my favorite memory.
Yeah.
did you notice the glare he gave me?
I know. And losing.
Well, yeah. You brought that up because your team won that day.
No, I didn't bring that up at all. I didn't bring that up.
That's
at all.
why he gave you the glare.
that
The
one.
shade, right?
That one was joyful and hurtful at the same time.
Bittersweet.
So, but no, through, you know, we talk about, I made the comment earlier about how when we had our lineman camps, when Gavin was snapping so hard that we had to have other people step in. In the last 4 years, we've tried to include, when we started doing 7v7, we've talked for time and time again that, well, our linemen aren't always playing 7v7. So let's get training to do it.
Right.
Every time that we've been able to get a lineman camp in during it, Justin's always been the first guy to step up and coach it. So thank you. That's huge. You know,
The big boys are the forgotten boys half the time.
Yeah.
That's we get jokes all the time at the field about how are you guys always so big on the north side of town, and I always tell everyone it's because we eat processed food and red meat. You know, we're not eating kale and organic foods, but no, a lot of the reason we have the big boys is when they're young. I don't look at a hate to be rude, but a chubby kid and think, well, this kid can't play football. My
Right.
first thought is, Well, there's a left guard.
That's right.
Now, what do I need to do to get this kid motivated to fall in love with this sport? You know, you're not going to be out here running 40-yard sprints every day, kid. I know you can't do that.
Right.
But what can I do to get you to fall in love with moving 5 yards at a time?
You know, we've had the conversation before that you know, everybody's always wanted to call them linemen, but we're trying to kind of switch it up to call them big skills because that's what they are.
We like linemen.
Big skills.
We like linemen.
We've had the discussion in this room multiple times that there's, in my opinion, there's two positions on the offensive side of football that you have to train. You can't just get by luck, and that's linemen and quarterbacks.
Well, you know, and you have a really good point there because that is the skill set I think that most league programs anywhere around the nation are really missing, or really skilled linemen. But that's not something you can do the first year. I mean, you can come out there and be a good runner, good juker, because you've been running around the neighborhood your whole life, right? But you can't come out and be a good lineman. You can have the potential, but as you're indicating, you have to shape those guys, and they have to fall in love with it.
Yep.
Because if you just tell a kid he's going to be online, I don't want to be online.
That is the biggest thing is when they hear that on day one, they all want to run the ball and throw the ball. And the amount of times I've had to look at a kid and say, that kid can't run or throw if you're not there. He can stand there and throw that ball all day in practice. But if you're not there to stop that big ugly across from you,
that's right.
He's going to get hurt. So
that's right. I'm reminded of the longest yard. Teach me to play football, right? You got to get in there. And all of a sudden he was magnificent in the movie, right, as a character. But it took time to get him there. And I think that's what we have. And that's one thing I love about your program, amongst other things that you bring to the table. And like I said, reiterating, long before any of this, you were my mentor. And then when it happened to me, I called you and said, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
And so we met a few times so I could really understand what was next. And so your mentorship.
Well, you just took that and ran too,
man. I did.
You went above what I was doing.
I'm coming back.
You went above what I was doing. I was, man,
I'm coming
hit
back.
The ground running.
He didn't dip his toe in the lake.
He did not, man. He was ready.
But we have a lot of good guys. I mean, it's not about me, but we have a lot of good guys. But a lot of that.
You took some of those guys from me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still miss Crash. What are you doing to me?
I know. But Crash, in all fairness, you know, Crash is like my son for
I know.
100 years. But Crash and Cam and I think Braden and I think Liam Jimenez.
Yep.
Right? They those are really good friends, and thank you for that.
They're where they need to be.
Yeah, I appreciate
That's my
it.
biggest thing is I want everyone to just fall in love with football. I want you to be with it for as long as you can be with it. I mean, everyone's only blessed to be able to play football for so many years. I tell some of the kids, I'm like, some of you might not even play in high school.
Yeah.
So enjoy this while you can. It's the one sport you don't get to play your whole life.
That is right.
You can play baseball recreationally. You can play basketball recreationally. You can do all these other sports till you're well into your 70s and 80s. But football, there's a certain time frame where
it's over.
It's time to get those pads off.
It's over. Okay. Well, listen,
Speaking of being over.
I know, right? This hour goes fast. One of the fastest, hours of football is the Youth Football 101, all things football. We're going to step aside and head to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to probably discuss, I don't know where we are in time slot. Are we at 30?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when we come back, we're going to discuss what's going on in the other world of football, the elite world. You guys are welcome to stay or leave. We're going to talk about football university, things of that nature. And we're going to have Cam Dale, one of the elite quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, come and join us and talk about his story. So, Ben, why don't we send it to commercial?
Oh, yeah. You're listening to Youth Football 101 right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Soulful Casino in Havelock is a family-owned business, providing incredible food and service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans, to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
You purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through July 14th, enjoy USDA Choice 6-ounce bacon wrap tenderloin for $8.99. Fairway's 16-ounce packs of hickory smoked bacon for $3.99 per pack with a limit of 4, fresh salmon for $9.88 per pound, and 24 packs of Michelob Ultra for just $16.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Back to Youth Football 101 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, so we're back on the second half of the show, Youth Football 101. This side of the show is sponsored by Tank Security Team. We've got a special guest here. We're going to really talk about the next level for Nebraska as a whole. And we've got, I think, the perfect staff to really talk about the direction that we're going. We've brought in Cam Dell, one of Lincoln's really solid quarterback at the skill level. and the accuracy level, as far as that's concerned, it's just ridiculous what he's doing at 11 years old. We're back with Justin. We're going to talk about some things in his experience also at FBU. And then, of course, my good friend Jim Salmon in Lincoln support for football university and getting together an elite team to do a tournament. Cam, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. So listen, I want you to be able to connect with some of the parents about like your journey and the things that you've done with 7-on-7 football. Obviously, you started with the Malone Panthers, then you went over to Coach Justin, and then to Neiman and Sons. But all along, you've been developing your skill by going to different camps and different places. How's that process been working for you?
I mean, some of the process is the struggle, but it's really good so far.
Good. Now, when you say struggle, what do you mean? Because how difficult it is?
Yeah, you have to really work for it though.
Good. So you don't feel like the average, 9, 10, 11-year-old most of the time.
No.
So what's in the summer, just so people know before we go into where you've gone, what's a typical day look like for you? Whereas most kids are having fun, they're on their stuff. What does it look like for kids that are trying to go to the next level?
Well, really just you're waking up, you're eating a big breakfast. Well, actually a small breakfast, and then you go work out and then come back and probably just doing some studies if you're really into school, and then big lunch, and then maybe another workout.
Good. So how does that work for you? How does that break down?
I mean, it works really well because I can get I get the food I need, and I get also the training, and not just messing around the whole summer.
So that's not the typical kid's summer, is it?
No.
Good. So you're traveling, right? So you travel from June to July, going around and getting invited to tournaments. Let's talk about quickly last year. Where did you go last year? That you remember?
So 77, right?
77, NFA.
Yeah. Okay. So for 77, we got invited to Dallas. Dallas, Texas. For a tournament for Hero Sports, and then we didn't do that well though, but well, it did show us some good competition though.
Yeah.
And then for NFA, I got invited to dual after going to camp in Tennessee for NFA. I got invited to dual, so it's a quarterback competition basically.
Where was that at?
It was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, how'd you do there?
I did really well. I could have done better, but I feel like I just wasn't prepared that much. But I should have worked harder a little bit. And then, but I did. I got placed 5th quarterback.
Okay, good. And then you roll over to this year. And as far as quarterbacking and your skill level, where have you been this year?
I've been at the top. I still got some improvement to do, but I've been really good this year.
Good. Where'd you go so far?
So I've went to Florida, Naples, and then I went to Kansas. I've also went to
The Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah.
Okay, good. And so how did you do when you went down to Naples? So that was an invitational only, and you competed in the Top Gun?
Yeah, Top Gun.
Your shirt, right? I noticed you wear shirts. Kids are smart,
show
right?
off. Gotta show off.
Yeah, show off. Okay, and how'd you do down there? How many quarterbacks in your class? And you competed in the 2030 and 2031 class.
Yes.
And how'd you do?
I did really well. Out of 30 quarterback, I got top 6.
That's good. And then did they invite you anywhere else after that?
Yeah, they invited me to a national combine back in Naples, Florida for all camp team.
Okay, so you've made all camp teams all summer. Good. So how do you think, what would you tell other kids as far as that? Because obviously it's just not you. There's lots of talent all over Nebraska, here in Lincoln. what would you tell other kids as far as being able to compete?
You like if you get down to that level and you see like the like intensity, you will like get pushed harder so you don't fall in the end of the pack. So you got to push harder, and then it just improves you a lot.
How good are some of the receivers and quarterbacks around the nation at your age?
There are a lot of good receivers and good quarterbacks.
Putting the work in?
Yeah.
And tell Coach Justin about the line down there.
Oh, the line for 6th and 7th graders about your size.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Were they good?
They were good too.
Yeah.
You can't even see over those kids.
Nope, I cannot.
You got to roll out a lot.
That's insane. So that kind of leads us to the next thing that we're talking about, right? So it's time, right? I had an opportunity to talk to the guys down in FBU, Matt Lauer, who's one of the directors, and then Andrew Coker, who's also the assistant director, about.
I almost feel like, hey, Ben, do we have a breaking news clip we can throw on?
I have audio that I could pull up if you give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
Okay.
him a minute.
Give me a minute.
While you're working on that, why don't we talk about registrations real quick?
You want to talk about registration?
Yes, for
All
LYF.
right. So we'll break back just for a second back to the LYF side.
Yeah.
Registration is still open. We're still rolling full. We're averaging quite a few kids a day, which is
good.
great. The deadline in order to guarantee for you to play in your home district, so
Yes.
the district in which you live, is Monday. So if you want to guarantee that you'll play for that district, you need to make sure and get registered by Monday. If not, we have a lot of clubs that start to fill up right away. If your home district is full when you register, you will be moved to the nearest district to your address.
Address.
So, we just want to make sure that as many kids are getting signed up as possible, because that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
It's just making sure that kids get out and learn the game of football and love. Cam, let me ask you a question quick. So you get up and it's train and eat and train and eat. You're having a lot of fun training, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's kind of what you live for, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Some days though, I do not want to get up and train though. But yeah.
That'll boy. So yeah, I would like to mention before we start talking about this, that the work you've put in with this is really cool. Okay.
Thank you.
FBU has came to us with some opportunities, right? Whether it be LYF, whether it be Nebraska 7v7, whether it be just youth football as a whole. We're still getting all that worked out, but once Ben gets this up here,
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it now.
If not, then we'll just say breaking news.
Right? Okay, good. So yeah, I think that we're at that precipice, right? We always talk about the coaches that we have. We know that we have outside entities as well. Malone Panthers, the Spartans. We know we have some teams up in Elkhorn, Gretna. We know we have teams in Omaha. However, it's my personal opinion, right, that it's time for Nebraska to take its elite from 10U to 6th grade to 7th grade and 8th grade and get these kids out there, right, competing.
Get some exposure.
Getting and exposure, I think, is an old word. I think it's opportunities now,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because there's so many things that Football University offer, and we'll get to that in a second. But it's important to know, while you have your kid really competing and you're calling LYF and the coaches about how to get your kid involved with the traveling tournament team, FBU, what they do is it doesn't start, right? You can't practice until your league is over, right? So your all-star, your league, wherever you are in the United States, it is after it's over before you can begin to practice. Now, you can have a couple of non-padded tryouts, right, and go places to find the right kids. But with this program as a whole, Team Nebraska tournament team, we can't practice until then. So what's interesting that's happened is once I put that out there, it's amazing how many coaches that said, yeah, I want to be involved with that. So we have already, I think there's 30 coaches that are really interested.
And this is statewide.
And this is statewide. It's important to know it's statewide. What I love also about the program that FBU is putting on, which is an honor, is you can't have more than 10 guys per team. So you can't take your whole team of 30 and say, I'm representing
10 guys from one league.
From one team.
Oh, one team. Okay.
Yeah, one team. So Justin, if you said, hey, let's go and you maxed out with 10 guys, that would be it. So obviously we're able to pick and choose the best kids. And so with that,
I got the breaking news sound.
do you have it? Okay, let's go. Go.
All right. Wait.
This just in.
I'm getting it. There we go. Let me know how this is.
That's fine.
I love it.
Breaking news announced on the ticket this morning.
This just in.
Nebraska. Team Nebraska FBU plans to be formed.
There we go. I love it.
There we go.
That's it. So, yeah, so I think that's really important because we need to know at a young age, right, Justin? We talked about this earlier, especially with linemen. I'm going to pivot to you in a second, but we need to know how good our kids are. I mean, often the one thing that we don't talk about openly that I want to bring to the open is every parent, when their kid is good, thinks that they have an elite kid, right? Until you start traveling. And you see elite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until you see, and Jim, I'm not picking on you. So until you see an 11-year-old dismantle an older team, throwing the ball from 21 points back and then beating them 32-21, which Kim did.
See, that was the dig. That was the stab.
But
it's good. You did it to me earlier.
Yeah,
That's right.
But when you start seeing the ability of these kids to read quarterbacks and linemen, and then we talked about the development of linemen, how do you think a program like this, if a kid actually makes a team, work for him by the time he gets to high school?
FBU is a great organization. We haven't had a team in Nebraska for a long time. I know we've had a couple different tries. Like I said, I've been involved with youth football for a long time, and I know we've tried FBU a ton, and it's a great thing to get these kids out, travel around. We took 4 of my Elks kids when Dylan was an 8th grader, and we went down and actually played on the Missouri FBU team.
Oh, nice.
And traveled with them because we didn't have an FBU team here in town. So,
and that's important. Okay, so keep it right there because we're going to come back to you. We're going to take a moment and we're going to send this to commercial so we can get our sponsors in. We're going to come back, quickly finish up with the opportunities that we have before us and the different things that the kids can go to. Let's take this to commercial.
Yeah, you're listening to Youth Football 101 right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey, I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Hey Nebraska! Registration is officially closed for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games will feature 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. If you didn't sign up but want to follow along for results or watch the action yourself, go to CornhuskerStateGames.com. Thanks to our partners, Nebraska Orthopedic Center, Pepsi Cola, Nebraska Medical Association, and Farmers Mutual of Nebraska. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I don't care what anybody says. I think losing Evan Cooper is a blow. It hurts. I'm not saying that
they got an upgrade. Yeah.
I didn't say we didn't recover from it.
With John Butler, since he's been with the Bills since 2018, secondary coach, passing game coordinator a few years in, he's had the number one passing defense twice, and that's in the NFL. You know, that's as high as football gets. So again, his resume is just very impressive. Very impressive.
Back to Youth Football 101 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now, here we are. We're back. We're going to wrap this up really quick. We just want to go back to talking about the importance of how a lineman can kind of really benefit by trying out for the FBU elite team that it's only really a 6-week deal after the regular season.
Like you said, it's an exposure thing.
Yeah.
the more you can see someone that's better than you, the better it's going to make you.
Yeah.
You're never the best. Even the best has someone better than them. I always tell people, obviously I don't run much anymore.
No.
But I was always faster if someone was in front of me.
Yeah.
Because it gave me something to catch.
Yes. No doubt about
But
it.
if I'm in front of people, I'd start doing the lineman shuffle, just that little light jog that we do.
Yeah.
But if there's someone in front of me, I'm going to take off faster.
Exactly.
I think anytime you can get a kid and say, yeah, you might be the best in your little pond, but let's go over here and see what you do against these big boys, and then two things can happen. The kid could realize I'm never going to be this, or they'll get that drive to be, okay, it's time to work out more. It's time to put a little more effort into this.
Yes.
That's what I want to be, is what I just saw. So
exactly. And you're right. And you're able to see that when you become a recruit versus being just a camper. Because we have a lot of talent in Nebraska.
Oh, there's a ton of talent. There's talent walking around the schools in this city that they never got the chance, or they fell out of love with football. And you see it when you walk around the high school, where you're like, you should be playing right now.
We can give you so much more.
Whatever you need to do to get your butt out
What
here
do we do?
Get on the practice field. Let's do it.
That's crazy. Jim, what are you thinking? FBU, good. LYF can kind of say, hey, you know what? We need to look at this.
LYF will be discussing it this Wednesday, actually, at our next board meeting. In my opinion, I think it's a great thing. I think we actually have a lot of things coming down the pipe for LYF and Lincoln, the youth of Lincoln in general, right? We talk about how we need competition, right? And how
I would say that years ago, when we decided just to do the All-Star game,
right?
This is just now an extension to that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We saw how much more the league grew skills wise. We saw, you get all the coaches together. We work together to put on an all-star game. You start learning from other coaches, which any coach that's worth his salt is constantly trying to learn from other coaches. If your coach isn't trying to learn, then you need to go get a new coach.
Exactly.
The game changes all the time. There's always wrinkles. Even looking back at the past of football, you can find stuff that people have moved on from, and you're like, ooh, that I can see how that can come back now. Let's try that out. But just getting the all-star stuff together over the last 6 years or so, 7 years, has just improved so much, where
I can imagine
those kids, because we would practice that during the season as well.
Yep.
And those kids would come to all-star practice, and then they would go back to their own teams.
Right.
And their coaches would even say they come back to practice and they just look different.
They look different.
So they had to go compete against the other all-stars in practice instead of being
to
the
get
best
on the field.
Instead of being the best on the team. Now you're getting your drive again.
You're right.
That competitive flow. So
I think it's all beautiful. I mean, Lincoln, since I've been a part of you guys, and since I've been here and kind of in the mix, we're doing so many things, and there's so many programs out there that are making kids better, that really work really well. And so at the end of the day, we're doing this FBU thing. We're looking for partners and sponsors. It's going to happen. And we want Lincoln to be able to support it, to kind of be the hub, and then spread out all over Nebraska, so we can find the best players to keep Nebraska on the map at a higher level. So with that being said, Cameron, thank you for taking time to be here and sharing your story. Justin, brother, you're my man. You know where we are, Jim. Hey, we're going to break this off. All things football. We're here every Saturday from 11 to 12. LYF on one end, and then Nebraska 707 on the other. Thank our sponsors for doing the things they do. We appreciate it.
Yes, that was Youth Football 101. We're going to be sending it to National here soon, but Cooking Up with Chubbs will be up at 3 o'clock. So make sure to tune in with Chopping It Up with Chubbs, Football Casino. But until then, we are out of here.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone